This is the Rude Dog Boxing International Hall of Fame presentation, along with some bouts. Amazing. Paul and Jill Iannuzzi are just amazing people. Give back to the community, as you can see here with Parkinson's and all that he does for the community. This is his ring in the facility, and these are the guys that were inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame that night. I was proud to be one of those people.
My wife and I worked very hard to try to present something that's worthy of you people. And some of it's going well, some of it not so great, but we tried our best. We heard that ringside was closing down, and I enjoyed fighting at the ringside World Championships, and they were taking that away from us. And it was because of their fault. It's just some problems with this. I'm going to make a tournament. And we're going to go after it. And it's going to be great. She's like, great. How long? 6 to 8 months from now? I'm like, nah, 9 weeks. There wasn't a single person that I can't remember what I had for breakfast, but I remember everybody in that. I absolutely was smiling, everything, handshaking. The camaraderie is second to nothing. You ain't had it here.
We love it.
Exactly. It's good stuff. Yeah. And let's have some food and have some fun, and we'll go from there. Enjoy.
Thank you, Paul.
Selected for this, I have to tell you, there's thousands of masters, and the coolest thing is I had a team of 7 people choose who would be selected, and all of you were 7-0 voted in. There was nobody that said no. I never heard of you. So, because I was like not a latecomer to the Masters, but 2011, 2010. He's just like, no, you gotta know this guy, John Distadek. He's like, he is Batman, okay? And so I'm like, stop it, I'm Batman. And he's just like, no. And I read it, your information about you. Yeah, no, I might be Robin, but I'm definitely not Batman, okay? I'm like, I didn't be Robin yet to read what you've done. So, we unanimously voted you in, and it's because he made me aware of how wonderful you are. So he's going to tell a little bit about you and hand you your award. It might work now? Hello? Oh, you son of a gun. All right, there you go.
All right. So John, I met John at ringside, say 2008, 2009, something like that. Somewhere in that range. And I saw this tall guy beating up on these little guys. Because this guy was, what you're 6'3", 6'4"? 6'3". About 6'3". And he was weighing like 168, 170. So, the matchups was weight, So, but showed a lot of skill, and man, every time you were in that ring, you came to fight. What people don't know about this guy too is he was out in originally from LA, from commercials to sparring with some pros and all these things to moving to Tennessee and now Florida. This gentleman, when it came to Masters, he was at every ringside, and a couple of other, local events and stuff like that. But he's also a senior Olympic winner as well. So he did rowing, he did track, he did swimming, he did triathlons, and always successful, always within the top 3, and medaling, and just amazing, and still doing it to this day.
Wow, look at
you. To this day. And so when we talk about people in the ring and outside the ring, another great example of class and just someone that loves the sports and loves people. You know what I mean? So again, another great addition to the family. John, come on up here. You got it. So
you forgot one thing, Danny. You forgot he's the oldest.
Huh?
He's the oldest.
Yeah, he's the oldest one.
I thought 84. I thank the Lord consistently. I would have never, ever imagined that one day in my life, I actually have a ministry called Redefining Aging. It's a Christian ministry. We promote the Christian principles. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. And we've got about 350 testimonies up on our site. And we go around doing events, Senior Olympics, rowing, triathlons. We don't do boxing anymore. Had a great run. I really appreciated the people I met. Mandy's been just such an inspiration for the sport. And so many people. Robert Ray, some of you might remember, fought him twice. Robert Ray has gone to the Lord, hopefully. But we just appreciate the camaraderie, the friendships, just the attitudes and the people that we've met, throughout the years. And I've recently met. I'm just so appreciative of all what he's doing here. And thank you. I appreciate what. Even get information on the sport, but because of this gentleman, we were able to find where events were, information about it, the rules, what kind of headgear to wear, what to expect when you go into these matches. He was the one that brought it to the forefront of boxing. Greg, God rest his soul, had a concept, worked some legalese, but Manny was the guy that took the seed from just a little sprout to something that was massively significant, to the point where you had 2-4 fights on a card, to now when you go to a Las Vegas tournament, you probably have 300 fighters. Absolutely incredible. Manny has been there to help everybody. Why? It's for economic gain? There's none. Trust me, there's none. Okay? If this was a ship, it'd be the Titanic. Okay? All right? It's for the love of the game. It's for the love of you guys. It's for this. I have called this gentleman many a times saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I need help.
This one, there was one of me. Of course, now there's two of me, but we're working on it. We're working on it. No, thank you, Paul. I appreciate everything. And, for me, just values that my mom taught me when I was a kid to try to do the best for, anybody that you can help out. Anything that you can do to make somebody's life better, you just do it. There's no questions. You just do it. So, in the same token, I take that same value from all of you. You guys mean so much to me, and you know what I mean. Man, I'm speechless. Just thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all for being, having an impact in my life. A kid from Brooklyn who wasn't supposed to be anything, and we're here together. So,
We love you.
That's it.
love you guys.
If you're happy to be a Masters fighter, you owe it to him. That's all I can say.
These were the inductees into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, and I didn't get all their names, so sorry. I would like to read them all off, but of course, as you saw, Manny was there. But there's quite a group, a fellow from Australia. Right next to me is Rick Bobigian and several others, and it's his fight that we're looking at here. Well, it was a pretty incredible weekend. It started off by Friday evening with the inductions and a great meal. Then Saturday we had the bouts, which were well done. And then Sunday, my wife Trish and I went out on the boat. I've seen pictures of boats being around where people could walk around in the water because it was real shallow. Never been there until this trip, and it was a great time with all the people and being in the water. Lots of different things we saw there. It was really a great time. Beautiful homes, and just the whole weekend put on by Paul and Jill was an amazing. I've never experienced anything like it in all my years of master boxing. So they definitely take the cake on creating presenting a program. It was wonderful. Well, we're here with Rick Bobigian. We're at the 2026 Rude Dog Boxing. We were just both inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
Yes, we were.
Which was quite an event. And I know I have a distinct relationship since the only bout I ever lost was to Rick.
Yeah.
So he took away my perfect score.
I just got lucky, John.
No, I don't think so. You're good, and I appreciate you. And tell us a little bit about your background, growing up. And
Right. Yeah, that's easy. I grew up in Massachusetts, and my mother was a Georgia girl.
Okay.
My father married her just before he went overseas in World War II. He was assigned to Georgia. They met at a USO function. They married, and then he went to England and ended up being on Normandy.
Wow.
And he survived that. He got wounded 3 times.
God.
And he survived that. When he came back, my mother and father started the family. I have an older brother, Jeff. I'm number 2. I have a brother, Ed, which he was younger, and I have a sister, Susan, younger. So we had a family of 4. Well, my father was from Massachusetts and my mother was from Georgia, so we lived in Massachusetts, where all her brothers and sisters, my aunts and uncles, lived in Georgia and spread out through the South. So we would travel every summer from New England to the South, and I got indoctrinated to the South. I love the South. I love living in the South, and I presently live in Houston, Texas.
Yes. Yeah. And you tell us a little about your background. You're very big into the oil and gas business for a long history, and now you're somewhat retired.
There's another story. I am retired. There's another story about that.
Okay.
One of the fun things I did with my father is my father was a rock collector. And we went to a lot of quarries in Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and up towards Vermont, New Hampshire.
Wow.
And even eastern New York. So our summer vacations, were, other than going to the South with my mother, were to go camping. And when we camped, he was always be near some mine that had been mined for different minerals and so on and so
My
forth.
dad collected sand, and he had
Where do
these
you go?
little jars of sand from all different places.
Yeah, there you
in
go.
World War II. and
Sure.
different
Yeah, from the beaches and
Yeah.
from everything, sure.
Right.
So my dad, we grew up with a manual called Dana, D-A-N-A, Dana's Manual, and it was a book on mineralogy.
Oh, okay.
So that was fun. Leave that behind. And I went to high school and then college. And
What was your degree in?
well, I worked on an English degree the first time, but then I flunked out. And I flunked out because I was majoring in rock band. And I had formed a rock band, and
I love it.
I was doing all that. And then I got drafted.
I had a music business with Mike Nesmith of the Monkees.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I knew you were involved in Hollywood and music.
Hollywood
and
in the film business, but I had a music business. I met Mike before he got in the Monkees. Monkees was put together by Screen Gems.
yes.
My first wife was Catherine. His first wife was Phyllis. Mike and Catherine took off. That ended our music business. And,
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
little side story.
Oh, exactly. So then I got drafted, and I ended up spending 4 years in the Army. And I became an officer. Got out as a captain.
That's great.
Yeah, I went through OCS, and then became a second lieutenant, first lieutenant,
Yeah.
captain, and then
I
got out
was
of
in
the
the
military.
first lieutenant.
Well,
fantastic.
yeah. What years were you in Vietnam?
I wasn't in Vietnam. I was in the 82nd Airborne from 64 to 69.
Oh, yeah, you were early then. Yeah.
But they took me to the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
At Trujillo uprising, they thought it was going to be another Cuba. So I had 2 tours there,
Yeah.
which is kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
And so in my case, I drafted, went to Officers Candidate School at Fort
Yeah.
Benning,
Yeah.
the home of the infantry.
Yes.
So I became an infantry second lieutenant, and then
I love
my
it.
first assignment was in the Vietnam. I spent 6 months there and was moved to Okinawa and spent 3 years in Okinawa. And then I got out of the military and I went to the Colorado School of Mines. And what made me go to the Colorado School of Mines is I needed to do something besides get an English degree. No offense to people that have English degrees.
Yeah.
But that I had grown up, I had matured, and I had a direction, and the military helped shape all that.
Yes.
And I realized that, okay, I'm going to go back to school. And I did. I went to the Colorado School of Mines, graduated in 1975, and my first job was with Texaco in South Louisiana. So I worked for Texaco, then Conoco, which brought me to Houston, and I've been in Houston ever since.
Wow. And then you started your own oil and gas company at one point in time?
Yes. In our business, you either stay with a large oil and gas company or you go with an independent.
Yes.
So I got recruited by a company called Chapman Oil, and they were looking for a vice president of operations, and that to me was a promotion, and I wanted to learn how to buy and sell oil, and I wanted to learn how to own oil.
Yes.
And I couldn't learn that at Conoco.
Yes.
So as a result, I went with them, and they taught me how to put it together. And then, from the mid '80s, I was a build and sell guy. Built companies, and when we got to enough value, I sold them. Then started again.
Great way to go.
Built a team, just kept doing it over and over again.
That was a little bit of my dream. It just didn't work out for me like it did for you.
There's a lot of things that don't work out.
Yeah. Yeah. Take it public and share the wealth. Actually, I had an oil well we drilled in Oklahoma, and it turned out there was wells hitting the big time all around us, and we got nothing.
Yeah, nothing. That's called a dry hole.
Yes, dry hole. Well, what other things have impacted your life as you've gone through all these phases? Is there any belief system that helps you through?
Yes, absolutely. I met a guy named Joe Diaz, and I may have told you this story, and if I have, I'm sorry.
I don't think you did.
But I met Joe Diaz in Kansas City at one of the tournaments we had. It was back in the 2016, 2017.
The ringside tournament?
Ringside tournament up there in Kansas City. And Joe was 85, and he was a trainer. So he's not too far from your age.
No.
Yeah. And
right there.
he was there with a woman that he had trained. And so I met him at the get-together. And the next morning I went down to breakfast before the weigh-ins. And Joe was sitting at a table having breakfast by himself. So I sat down with Joe and I said, "Hi, I'm Rick. I met you last night. I'm really interested in your career." And we started talking, and then he trained lots of pros. He trained lots of amateurs, and he was just a wealth of knowledge. I said, "Okay, I'm going to pose this question to you. When you have 2 people that have equal talent, so take talent off the table, they're both equal. Why is one successful and why does one fail?" And he said, "That's easy. Good attitude, good work ethic, and good nutrition."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Okay, I know all those things, but you're the first guy that condensed it into a really easy way to say it." But I said, "I'm really interested in the good nutrition." "What do you mean, just food?" And he goes, "No, I'm talking about food for the brain, food for the body." And he said, one of the number one things is that you have to nurture your brain, but to be successful when the going gets tough, you have to have a belief system. You have to believe in God. You have to believe in something.
Yes.
Okay? And a lot of people believe in God because they're Christians.
Right.
Or whatever their religion, they believe in a higher being.
Right.
But if you don't have that in your life, you just have to believe in your mom, your dad.
Right.
You have to believe in your family, your wife, your kids, whatever you're doing, that I'm going to do better for them than I did. Because when things get bad, if you don't have that belief system, you quit.
Yeah. What was his belief system? Did he tell you?
God.
God, okay. A Bible-believing person that believes that basic tenets of the teachings of the Bible.
He believed in Christianity, yes.
Christianity.
He believed in Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ is
Right.
the way, the truth, and the life.
Right.
I came kicking and scratching to that truth. I mean, I didn't.
I think Joe did too.
I was in my 40s, and I didn't want anything telling me what to do. You know, I didn't want any doctrine saying you do this and don't do that. But I actually had a healing in a motorcycle accident in Palm Springs. I had the music business with Mike Nesmith. He was a Christian Scientist. Had a Christian Science practitioner come to our studio, and I got a healing. And I thought, wow, this is powerful. So I thought, well, millions of people can't be wrong. So I read the Book of Mormon and the Pearl of Great Price. I read Mary Baker Eddy, Science and Health and Key Scripture. I read Ron Hubbard's Scientology.
Sure.
I just dove into it, and then I ended up going to John MacArthur's church in Panorama City, and he taught the Bible. And one of the first things I learned was we're in a spiritual warfare. There's an enemy that wants to kill, steal, and destroy. We're in a warfare. Totally took me by surprise. Didn't really believe it at first, but over time, I believed the Bible was true, that all those things that happened in the Bible were real, and became a Christian kind of,
And that belief system has guided you.
Oh, it has, totally. That's why we're doing this right now. I'm in a mission. Redefining Aging uses athletics as a vehicle to hopefully open people away from the darkness into the light.
Right.
And that's the whole, to me, I was in the darkness many, many years, bought into the whole system, and realized that doesn't mean, when you become a Christian, that doesn't mean life is easy. It doesn't mean that, you get everything you want and you pray and it happens. No, but God is sovereign. There is purpose in life, and that's what's guided me now for a number of years.
Well, a lot of people get disappointed.
Oh, absolutely.
If they pray for something and it doesn't happen.
I've been there many times.
We all have. Right.
Yeah.
But you realize, okay, so C.S. Lewis was an atheist.
Yes.
Okay? And I've read all C.S.
He's a great
He's got a lot of children's books, but he wrote speeches for Churchill during World War II to try to help the English people understand why the Germans were bombing the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was a atheist, publicly known. But he wrote these speeches and he gave these talks over the radio to the English people.
Yeah.
And he realized that everyone goes, God, please help me.
Mm-hmm.
So they're praying for something.
Right.
And then when they don't get help, they get disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
But his view was that God created everything and he's the guiding light. It's all in us, but he's not going to change it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't pray to him to change something for you. You have to change it yourself.
Uh-huh.
And that's it. And so once you get that concept, you have to change it yourself, then everything becomes very clear.
And you can do it with his power often, the power, as the Christian doctrine teaches, you accept Jesus as your Savior, the Holy Spirit enters you, now you have a resource.
You do.
And the Holy Spirit.
And there is what Joe Diaz was saying.
Yeah.
When the going gets tough, you have that resource.
Yes.
So use it.
Yes, absolutely. God bless. Well, anything else you'd want to tell that person out there listening to you, your experiences and all you've gone through and the lessons?
The lesson of life is just keep moving on.
Keep going.
Yeah, and keep believing and keep working in that direction. And
yes,
good things will happen and good things won't happen, but you'll end up in a good place.
Well, you're an inspiration. At 77.
77, yeah.
Look great.
You're an inspiration at 84.
Thank you.
Yeah,
good.
You're welcome.
And I love your Australian shirt.
This is
the guy from Australia.
And he won today.
Yeah, but I tell you, I could see you win. I could see you taking that.
Well, I'm going to take him next time.
All right.
Because we've already cheated up. We're going to do it again in Las Vegas with Manny's tournament.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, God bless, and thank you for giving us your testimony.
And thank you for asking me.
I love it. We want to thank you for watching RedefiningAging.us. I'm John District, your host. And our goal for the series is pretty simple. We just want to enhance the quality of people's lives. So if you know of an event that you think would be one for good for us to cover, please fill out the form on our website, and not only the event and what it is, where it is, when it is, and if there's a person you know that you think would be a good person for us to do a testimony on in some event, please let us know. And if you want a fuller description of my testimony, you can either go to johndistredick.com and look under ministry, or you can go here at redefiningaging.us. We appreciate your viewership. God bless, and hope to see you on more shows.